Today, we're at station 4 of 6 in the Lightship build series, the Canopy, nearly 1,000 pounds lifting overhead, carrying integrated solar and 270 degrees of window.
We started out with what is the best aero form to maximize our efficiency on the road. So that's where we got the actuating canopy, and that's how we got the entire form factor of this canopy. The entire shape of the vehicle is function led and then design second. So our design team worked on top of what is the best aero form instead of the other way around. So this is designed first and foremost for aero, and then we look at like how can you lift something that big in the air. So mass is a huge consideration for this design. Another thing I want to point out about our windows that I think is cool and part of our design philosophy is built in, not bolted on. This is a phrase that we say a lot at Lightship when we're talking about why our designs are the way they are. And you can see that with our windows. They're built in. Rather than a more traditional RV, it is a window that, that you're just slapping on the outside of the vehicle. A lot of times they bump out, and this gives you that streamlined look.
You mentioned this over and over again last week, automotive.
Yes.
And this is flush.
Yes.
This is flush. The solar is flush. Everything's flush, which is going to help you obviously with that aero impact.
Exactly. Some of the heaviest components on here are actually the windows. So
you've got the body windows, and then
the skylights.
And then skylights. But these 4 hoops and the rear are the only spots that aren't windows on this whole thing. And the front here, my understanding is a different construction to the rest of the windows.
Correct. Yeah. So these 4 on the nose are polycarbonate, also including what I call the horseshoe windows at the top. So these are all polycarbonate. Definitely durability because of towing and having windows in the front. You kick up a lot of debris from the road. So the polycarbonate windows are resilient to impact. And so you don't get that pitting as easily, and definitely no cracking that would just explode into your RV.
So glass all the way around and polycarbonate on the high risk impact areas.
On top, we've got solar. So almost the entire roof is solar. You can kind of see the edge of it here. This is a glass panel with solar cells underneath, and it goes across all of the flat surfaces on the top. It also passes over this curved section. So the entire roof is solar. It's integrated into the roof because it's a better performance and management experience, but it looks good.
We have 11 solar panels. So to get the nice flat appearance of our solar panels, we use a combination of VHB tape to give a flat leveling surface that is semi-squishy, and also helps to stick the solar panel down onto the canopy. And then we finish with a bead of what's called a Coropop. It's a German adhesive. And we can pull it off with relative ease without smashing it to bits as most.
And what's this? I noticed a cutout over here. What is going on here?
So these are for the kitchen and bathroom fans. So as the air gets evacuated from the inside of the canopy, travels underneath of the solar panels and gets evacuated out the back of the camper.
So you've incorporated the vent into the solar design. Okay. How heavy is this approximately?
This is between 800 and 1,000 pounds. So it's actually very light considering the size. It's almost all windows. There's a couple spots where there's not, and I want to talk about that in relation to the actuators that you've talked about.
Yes,
so,
let's do that.
So this area here doesn't have. This area here we call our hoop, and we have one in the back too. The hoop.
The hoop.
So it's a hoop that goes over the vehicle, and this is a huge structural component of the vehicle. So you've got the actuator comes right under here, and it's supporting on both sides, and the hoop is a structural bridge that connects the two of them.
So this is a foam composite, am I correct in, is that what this is?
Yes, and then the outside is fiberglass, or well, the inside is foam composite and then fiberglass.
This is the structural, the 4 hoop points are the structural elements.
Correct,
load-bearing structural elements of this frame. Okay, so you lift from there.
Yeah, we lift from there, and then we have our lower seal, which slides against the tub.
Yeah.
And so our HVAC doesn't just dump all of your nice AC air out the side or the heat.
Yeah.
And then to further that seal, we have an upper seal and we have a flange seal on the tub. And what happens is as you lower the canopy, the tub seal comes up to match and meet that this seal up here.
This is what we call the umbilical.
Yeah.
This is the wires that connect the canopy, so the top half of the vehicle, to all of our power systems and controllers that sit below the vehicle.
Yeah.
So one connection point with this articulating guide on it that connects us to power and signals and kind of reduces the complexity of the canopy from a service standpoint, and also gives us everything we need from a function standpoint. It's the umbilical. It's the lifeblood of this half. And then you can see all the wiring on the inside, and that is purposely routed in a very neat way that makes it really easy to service and helps with maintenance and debugging. And it is just another example of us following automotive standards for the type of work that we do. The harness team does a really good job.
And after we do our solar panel, we have all of this harnessing to set up. So first, we have all the terminals poking through.
Yeah.
Before we can know where all these get placed, we have to pull all of our canopy harnessing up through the nose of
of course, because that's how you get to the umbilical cord.
Yep.
Right. Is that the roof panels are actually magnetically held on.
Yeah.
So this is ultra serviceable.
Yeah.
If anything goes wrong there with the solar or anything
Exactly.
like that.
So you can remove the headliner, which is just for aesthetic purposes. You can remove the side panels as well, and the reason for that is serviceability.
Okay. Fantastic. I've never seen an application of magnets for a ceiling panel. So talk us through that.
So up here we have all these pre-drilled placements for the magnets.
Yeah.
So they get structural adhered to these points.
Yeah.
And then there's a spacer and the opposite magnet on the trim piece. And they're spaced out accordingly that we just lifted up there. And so to Station 4's point, having clean and organized wiring that is labeled and, chaseable makes a difference down the line of serviceability and, makes everything really neat and tidy.
Okay. All right, Zach, it looks like VIN 15 has actually made some progress.
Yes, it has.
It's still at Station 1.
It's kind of in the awkward in-between. It's waiting for the vehicle that is in Station 2 to get out of its way.
Right. And
so we now have the onboard charger in the vehicle. This is essentially another power distribution unit. This is actually what will take the charge for when you plug in the vehicle up front at the charge port. This is what will take that charge. This is what keeps the HV batteries alive, and also does some other power distribution as well. Onboard charger on the far left, and then the high voltage junction box in the middle here.
Which we talked about last week.
Yes, and then the battery management unit.
Perfect, and that controls these two massive batteries over here.
Yes, it does.
Cooling.
Yep, it looks like the coolant system has gotten complete. Actually, yes, we did. We tested it last night. So this is the complete coolant system. This is kind of the main hub of all of it right here. This is the fresh tank. This is where all of your drinking water, it's all potable water. It is a 50-gallon tank. Then you've got the inlet and a vent line, and also the outlet of the tank running along that side of the frame. The inlet from the sink on this side, the inlet for the dishwasher on that side, and then you've got the 3-inch dump piping.
Right. So
99% of the way there.
What's missing?
Just the rear axle, and then the, not the full drivetrain system, but we're missing CV axles as well.